thinking about the whole jargonite thing as a derogatory term.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm reading Zarathustra, and I will admit I am reading it for the first time. I'm also reading it alongside Jung's commentary of Zarathustra.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah, so it's pretty good, actually. And essentially in Zarathustra, Nietzsche talks about how the greatest sin you can commit is a sin against the earth or a sin against your body. And so I've been thinking about the whole like jargonite thing, that we feel like we have this need to want to understand everything. But it is really contrary to the actual human need to progress forward in doing something meaningful.
There's got to be some mystery.
Like,
you're not meant to know everything, right? I think I agree with that.
You're not meant to know everything, and even if you could know everything, would you? Like, let's say, would you want to? Even if you could keep pursuing all this knowledge, so you can pursue knowledge to the end of time. Is there a positive aspect to being able to understand everything you think about? And I think
that just creates a loop. You just become this self-referencing, like you just ate a bunch of acid and you're talking to yourself in the mirror for like the rest of your life.
Yeah, like even if you could get good at understanding jargon and doing it in a timely fashion and exactly as you wanted to, would you want to be good at it? Even if you could be good at it, would you want to be? I would argue that the better you get at understanding jargon, the worse you get at living well successfly. You want to devil's advocate it?
Yeah, it's just getting pummeled. And I'm like,
do it.
I just kind of want to like give him a hand.
To death. Yeah.
You know, it's just kind of in my nature.
I know, you're so compassionate.
Can't there be, like good jargon? Like you I don't know, you're an electrical engineer and you have all of this electrical engineer terminology and you need it for work and you need it to talk to other engineers. That's jargon, isn't it? And it's good.
Okay, so let's divide the jargon into two different camps then. I think technical jargon for professional use, like for home use, that's necessary because that is a known quantity. Like we're talking jargon about like gigahertz or about electrical flow for the direct and express purpose of using it in that way.
Right. It's specifically to do something. It is will in action.
Yeah, exactly. Or like two psychologists sit around and they talk about how a person hasn't individuated. I mean, I can't imagine if you're talking offline with a buddy of yours or a therapist or like, oh yeah, my brother, he just really hasn't quite individuated yet. Like there's no concrete term that we all agree that individuated means, right?
Yeah, it's a tough one.
Does the term individuation mean anything if no one can actually describe it?
Kind of. Everyone could agree that it has to do with becoming an individual. So this implies that there's some stuff that you need to do in order to properly be yourself to the fullest. I'd say that's probably agreed upon, right? And anyone who's going to use that term would probably go, yes, that's at least something like that.
That's perfectly fine. What is the
still
normal?
Still is vague though, isn't it?
It's still vague, yeah. Or like, how about I think the worst forms of jargon are personally subjective terms of jargon. What is the meaning of my life? What should I do with my time? And then you try to mash all these jargon things into my life. What is the purpose of my life? Like the existentialists or Viktor Frankl would say that the meaning of your life is what you did yesterday. Like essentially it's like how you spent your time over the course of your life is the meaning of life to you.